Guys, and welcome to the month of Aquarius. So Aquarian energy is the 11th energy, so this is going to be very important what kind of goals we set this month. You can see different segments of your life. What is your journey? What is happening with your family? Where is your prosperity lying? What you should be doing to increase your chances of looking good, and what is, like, for example, residing in your love and marriage house. And if you guys want your private reading, and if you waited for a special with me, this is the time. So basically what's happening right now, it is upgraded. So the regular readings, which usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to turn around in a week. So you're going to get a price of a regular, you're going to get a rush reading. If you order a rush reading to get it within or under a week, you're going to get it within 3 days. And if you order an urgent reading, which is usually 3 days delivery, you're going to get it within 24 hours. So just book a regular reading or rush reading or urgent reading, and that's going to be upgraded. So to book the reading, check my website www.cattarot.ca. Without much further ado, let's jump into your monthly reading. Hi Virgo, welcome to your monthly reading. So let's jump right in. This kind of like is really confusing, so let's try to make some sense out of it. So the cards that you have, where do I start? Let's start with the Tower reversed, and then you have Ace of Pentacles reversed. You have Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups, Central, Knight of Wands. You have Knight of Pentacles reversed. Then you have the Emperor reversed. You have Knave of Pentacles reversed, the World reversed. Then underlying energies are the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel, and Nine of Swords. Then we have like some clarification over here. Enemy, Thief, and the Priest. The three more cards just jumped out, and it was falseness or false lover and death. And I think that sort of like was hovering here between the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. And then also you have skilled craftsman, and then harmony reversed. Really, really confusing. Almost looks like you guys want to go forward and backward in this kind of situation. You certainly are going to have a huge element of luck this month, and you can really cash on it, especially for those of you who maybe have somebody else who maybe is with somebody else who maybe you consider a rival, or you feel that it doesn't have to be the third party situation. Sort of like it could be that you have been with somebody and things just didn't work out for not necessarily any kind of like big fallout, but simply maybe somebody moved to a different city, maybe somebody had to kind of like get a job somewhere else. Maybe, you know, like somebody had exams and then you couldn't see each other for a while, and then when it was time to resume it, it was like, oh, hey, I thought we are over. I thought you stopped calling me, texting me. I'm actually with somebody else. So you kind of like feel, and there is like this thief of tarot over here, that somebody kind of like sneaked into your life, right? And you are kind of trying to make this right. You kind of like really trying to insist on, let's say, some kind of rules or appeal to some kind of like maybe agreement. Maybe some of you have been in a serious relationship and you feel this kind of like has been taken right under your feet, or you feel that something happened, just like let them to kind of like go away and go in some kind of different thing. Because what I see here is like certainly it's going to be some kind of like shakedown in a way that you perceive things and how you do things. Somebody took your peace away from you, and you, Virgo, are not lying down and taking it. You literally saying, okay, so let's rock. Let's see what this is all about. They're like issues that you already, as I said, know. Something has happened that shook you kind of like quite significantly. But at the same time, you have this Wheel of Fortune. This is Karmic card. Because there is a 10, and here is a 10, and here we have the another wheel. Here we have the World, the very last card, but it's reversed. So that means cycle is still not shifting forward. This entire cycle has to do something with a person who was or is very significant in your life. And I think you're very torn in between, is this person making me happy? Or is this person just a disaster? Like a very, very peculiar situation to be in, right, Virgo? It's kind of like you're seeing their huge parts and how they make you happy. Because look at in this Visconti deck. This is like the most beautiful deck probably that's ever created. Let me just see that. If I can kind of come in closer, look at that Wheel of Fortune. Like there is like a hopeful, somebody who wants to get on the top, right? But this one that gets on the top sometimes forgets the role of being on the top temporarily and just like wants to grab things. And that's why hence they're like these devil horns asking, really? Then you see the person who is like shifting this entire wheel, an angel, doesn't really know who are the people kind of being shifted around. Look at this person. It's kind of like really foxy with this foxy tail, kind of like falling in disaster. Sometimes it feels, and the simple look looks like the Hermit in tarot. And it's kind of interestingly because we do have that Lotus over here, that even though something is a complete burden and you feel that the entire world is sitting like on your back, there still is basically a hope, and things have to kind of like take shape. So which part of this cycle are you in? Are you feeling you're being just like shafted around? Or are you feeling that you're being on top of things? Because look at that, none of this situation is really something to look forward. This Wheel of Fortune, and I don't know if you can tell in a Visconti deck, we have this intricate background that is, you see it here, like it's kind of like really intricate background that is made, which is always talking about the duality that, you know, we people tend to, because the eyes are just going forward, we tend to kind of like see others and forget to kind of like reassess us. But I think the situation over here, when you have like this karmic wheel, when you have like literally karma appearing in your reading, and especially telling you, you guys have to deal with some kind of issues right now, because the new cycle is sort of like will start coming forward to you. Like you have to kind of like go in, I would say, in a new stage, and like you are preparing for it. It's almost like an athlete preparing for a marathon. You don't start with running the entire marathon. You start with like endurance exercises and making sure and controlling your heartbeat, etc., etc., etc. Looks like to me that you already know the story that I've told you. Maybe you have dealt with somebody. Maybe somebody's already the past. Because this karmic wheel is saying, right now you can grab that wheel, you can hold it. But be very careful that you don't take, if something goes really well or in your favor, like for granted. Because issues like really need to be addressed, and things and times can change. This is also saying that this is maybe a good time to address issues from the past, and also like maybe pay karmic debts. But there is like another card here. Oh wow, that's interesting. Look at here, we have the 10 of Cups here as well. We have here 9 of of Pentacles, right? So maybe you're working with some kind of issues that you're like sort of like, I would say, swimming against the current, and there is like a huge effort and willpower, and sun is in your back, right? Like there is like attitude of go, 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 but looks like almost like it feels like you just cannot get a break. There is definitely here a situation where you feel that you have been let down, that somebody else is sort of like having a magic of controlling your situation, and maybe you're not even seeing that. Maybe you are the person between somebody else who could be in your life and other circumstances, and you're trying to be that balance. You're trying to kind of like provide some kind of solution. But it looks like there are like so many people here. Look at this, people. And what the heck these people want here? Everybody wants something, but they have like both Knave and Knight of Pentacles. So these guys here, or women, are basically not necessarily moving with any speed, like just like simply there. Maybe you feel you're stagnating. Definitely you also have the Ace of Swords, pardon me, Ace of Pentacles also reversed. So this, if it's upright, this kind of like would talk about, yep, we are going forward, we are kind of like setting our aim, we just have to remove this issue, roll up our sleeves, and then start working on it, start moving, no matter how slow, right? But this is what is happening, that it just like feels like going forward one step, going backward 2 steps, and either feeling stuck, or even worse yet, feeling that you're continuously pushed back. Well, there is a reason for that. You are pushed back because you really need to work on something. You maybe are neglecting, let's call it some kind of like level of harmony, because here both times you're getting 10 of Cups reversed. So your needs, what you need, is like not fulfilled. Maybe you're still suffering. I actually don't see breakup. Well, I kind of, yeah, I do. There is like a death. Maybe there was a breakup with someone in the past, but even though that kind of like seemed like a disaster, especially because somebody else took your partner, it kind of like now feels this person was not really for you in the first place, sort of a time, right? So it tells me, Virgo, that maybe you felt that your will and or your like a willpower can result in sort of like a victory, right, and celebration, but somehow you were not catching that break. The truth is, like, you really cannot force inspiration, and you cannot kind of like make things happen, and hence like there is like this kind of like feeling really high strung in this whole situation. You know, you cannot make somebody love you, and sometimes people walk away even when they love someone. Sometimes people don't understand the impact of somebody else, because over here I see that somebody is maybe taking somebody for granted, or took somebody for granted, because these guys are not very appealing or very attractive fellows. Sort of like, you know, they would be really people who are reliable, solid, but at the same time they're not overly exciting and flamboyant, right? Because look at that. If you have to choose the dates, and this is one date and this is another date, whoa, right? Yeah, let's jump here. So I think there is like that duality, that you have to figure out what you want, and that maybe you're going a little bit out of your own let's say boundaries to what you want. You kind of like, instead of like listening to your own heart, you're more listening to, well, this is tried and true. I almost like trying to convince myself, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. The truth is, in this reading, guys, you're getting almost like a message, skilled, craftsman. This is simply telling me that you, at this time, you need to kind of like create a skill of a relationship, of life, that you have to understand that the life keeps moving forward, that life will move in kind of like various directions, and it's going to be really kind of like hard for you to make any influence, if you wish, on a situation. But like when you get to this skilled craftsman, it kind of like tells me, well, why don't you kind of like pay attention to what you want? Why don't you kind of like pay attention to your own hobbies, to kind of like working on something that can kind of like become a new skill, or take something that you used to like from the shelf and put it back. Also, this kind of can tell me that maybe you're kind of like more or less focused just like to your work, because this can be seen as if your work life is not going anywhere. You maybe are having issues with children, maybe it's the career that is stagnating. It could be somebody who stole a promotion away from you, and hence you're just like putting a happy face and, yeah, I'm just fine, but we are not fine. The truth is, instead of like obsessing about that, just keep working at your trade, because whether or not you did get something, or you did win this person back, or you feel that somebody just like took this person right under your nose, like this, like mice are taking this chunks of cheese, you guys are actually being noticed. You're being noticed, and you actually did finish one karmic lesson with flying colors, because you're really realizing the real value of things. So just the fact that something didn't happen, this is still telling you it happened in your best interest. So something that didn't happen was supposed to be that way, or is supposed to be this way. If you're looking for a job, most likely looking for a promotion, most likely you're not going to get it. And that's going to work really, really good for you, because something else will be there. It is asking you to brush up on your skills. It's asking you to be sort of like a little bit self-oriented. And this is sort of like, I think, good quality, that you're able to put a happy face on no matter what happens. That's really huge, because you're like simply looking back to seeing what shook you, what kind of like created your life to be off, what created this instability, like this, maybe let's call it house of cards, even though these are house of boxes, and we know the kitties like boxes more than anything else. Boxes, strings, and ribbons. It is like just huge excitement. In this particular case, you keep mulling it over and coming back in the situation, because like you have like these three major arcanas over here, and it's a process that, like, maybe it's a false start. You want to start something and it's going to be shut down even before it goes. The truth of the reading, however, is like you guys you don't even know that, because you'll be going through lots of nervousness and through lots of self-doubt and really ultimately a feeling of loss. But the truth is, like, you're just like wrapping up loose ends, and you're going in the next karmic stage. So this was meant to be the lesson learned. And you just like, oh, you have the Tower as well. So the lesson learned is like that something hasn't been built properly, and you have to go and backtrack. You know, like when you go for a walk, and it happened to me, unfortunately, more than once, and all of a sudden, like, you stand here, you sit here, you're just like looking the river here, looking the shore here, and hour and a half later, you're coming back home. Oops, where are my keys? Now you have to go and backtrack an entire thing. And you're backtracking, and you're feeling anxiety if you're going to find what you're looking for. You really feel like you want to grasp it, you want to do it. You're like afraid if somebody kind of like took it away. This can really happen in real life, not about keys. It's like simply you felt like you had a key, you had a solution for something, and then somebody else just like jumped in and kind of like grabbed it from you. Guess what? It was karmic. It was in your best interest, guys. So let's go and clarify a few things, because you guys are really going through karmic stage. Look at that. 4 majors, and really big ones too. And I also feel that some of you are healing. Oh my gosh, look at this unexpected joy. This is another Wheel of Fortune. So you know what? You might think it's a setback. You have to realize this is not a setback. If you took this path, let's put it this way. You're on a game show and you have 2 cards. And this card you open up and say, oh, trip to Rome. You're excited. But this card, you open up, it says you have to wait 6 months before you open this card. You're disappointed, right? Because like, who knows what can happen in 6 months. But in 6 months, it's a trip around the world. It is like sort of like delayed gratification that is basically going to happen here, that simply you're going to reconfigure elements of your lives and how to go forward with them. Like everything that has been sort of like wrong, you're literally pushing it forward properly. You are having the zest to move forward, and there is a cleanse, and maybe even there is a cleanse of sort of like some naive parts of you, but you're certainly kind of like really eager to stabilize. So let me just see these guys. So the Tower, there's a kind of message. Maybe you're still mulling over certain things in your head. Maybe somebody sent you a bill, or a Visa bill, or credit card bill, or government bill. It was like, oh my gosh, am I going to survive this, right? Like feeling like, oh, I'm going to pull my hair and jump off the basically tower with this. Why is this coming at me? Well, maybe because you're going to really learn how to handle your finances, and that's going to be a skill that is going to be really long term. Or maybe you have been with a partner who actually didn't really understand your gentle nature, or how you go about the things, and just like try to kind of like storm you down and walk over you. This is all kind of like falling in place, because look at that. It's again a widow where there is a definitely feeling of loss. This could be a person that like kind of like left you. It kind of like really comes across that now you're getting into this next level, right? Because when you lose somebody, you're really not going under a grave. You're staying at home and crying. So when you get to the stage, you already have kind of like been able to pull yourself together. There is like this composure that you are assembling, and certainly there is the feeling. I mean, you're having the falseness over here, and then you're having the enemy and the thief over here. So you're feeling, oh my gosh, I was saved. I dodged a bullet. And oh my God, you guys are fixing this. And when you fix this, when this new cycle turns around, you'll be moving into the stage where you'll be really happy and capable, because I think these 3 cards which came back, they will be all turning around when you fix this, when you kind of like reach this closure, because this closure is, I think, what you are really working on. You're willing to go through it, but it's still creating lots of issues. So it's simply saying, just like kind of like really focus on yourself, try to build skills, work, and even if this is like simple task like self-dedication, you kind of like have to do something not that distracts you, but that makes you happy. But I sort of also feel this is connected to your work. But check this out, what happens when these cards start to kind of turn around, and they will turn around, because I know that you are guys really eager to work on it and to jump on it. So for those of you who are like new and who are looking for a new date, the dating is going to be total fun. Some of them guys will be not going anywhere. Actually, majority of the guys will not go anywhere. Let me tell you, about 66%. So like, I mean, 2 out of 3 guys will be just like, I mean, off. And you're going to wonder if this is kind of the right way to go, but it is. Because eventually, I think the 3rd or the 4th guy or a woman that you will meet will be the one. And it will be the one, to marry. So everything that has happened, because like you kind of had these big dreams and rules and everything, and this is like now all off the table. So when this new cycle starts to act, right? Because there is like, this means new cycle, this means new cycle, this means new cycle, or this means I'm just like shy of starting it. And this is like, so you Virgo, this is your pentacle, this is like working in that situation. So check this out. You're setting the budget, you're like kind of like really not feeling affected if you're not getting a promotion or a raise, because this in fact is going to make you really eager, stubborn, and energized to go and find something better. And the better it will be, because this is definitely predicting happiness. It's harmony, happiness, support, absolute enthusiasm. And also you're actually really close to meeting a partner who will end up being your marriage partner. So Virgo, interestingly, we all have this February as a weird off month where we have to clean the house. Usually spring cleaning comes in the spring, well, for those of us in North Hemisphere, but this is happening a little bit earlier. I guess the global warming is affecting us in February. Just kidding. So guys, this is like a general reading, and this might not apply on everybody. So if you want your private one, please contact me at www.cattarot.ca. And until the next time, guys, I love you. All the best.